Hi everyone, today I have a new book review for you lot, and this one is on City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, which is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series. I was really excited to read this. I'm reading it in preparation for the movie, which is going to be released on the 21st of August, which is also my birthday. So hooray for movie birthday releases. I will definitely continue on with this series as soon as possible because I'm loving it so far. I thought this book was a really good one to set everything up. So City of Bones is a young adult paranormal fantasy which is set in New York City, where it begins with Clary Frey, who is 15, and she visits the Pandemonium Club. Here she witnesses a murder that 3 teenagers have committed, and then the body that has been killed actually disappears up into the air. At this point she learns that the murderers were actually shadow hunters who are half human, half angel, who actually have the intention to kill all demons that are entering the world. Clary also meets Jace, who is also a shadow hunter, and she is pulled into his world. This is where the story fully begins to finally take off, and it just gets going with its intensity, and we just learn more and more, and we're just thrown into this absolutely fantastical world. So firstly, the characters in this book, I have to say they're very interesting and very unique. Lots of different types of personalities in there. I thought they were developed fairly well in this book, and I'm sure that development will definitely continue on into the second book and the third book and all the other books in the series. Clary was definitely one of my favourites. I thought she was a really believable character, and I thought she was so strong, and I loved her other sides, like her innocence as well. And then Jace as well, and then also Raphael, the Spanish one. I loved that he was speaking Spanish. It was so fun to read about. As a language lover, I was already translating the sentences that were in Spanish before I even translate them into English, so you know, I was kind of ahead of the game in that business. I would say throughout the first few chapters it was sometimes a little bit hard to connect with the characters, but I think once it developed a little bit more, once we learnt a little bit more, that was no longer a problem. So now for the plot, I would say that the best thing about the plot is that towards the end it gets very intense, and it just grabbed me and I couldn't stop reading. I really found it intriguing, which helped to hook me in, and it was so addicting. I think the second half I read a lot faster than the first half because it was so good. The ending as well, oh my gosh, that was really shocking. I just need to read City of Ashes right now. Wow, the ending really shocked me and just made me jump. I did not expect that to happen. On the more negative side, I think the first half was probably a little bit slow. I think that there could have been more substance. More could have happened in the first half. I think my reading speed really seemed to reflect in this, because I sort of read a few chapters and I put it down, and then I picked it up a bit later and read a few more, whereas on the second half, which was a lot better, I couldn't stop reading it. I read like loads and loads at once. For the writing, as you know, I love Cassandra Clare's writing style. It's so beautiful and so vivid. Her amazing writing skills that are in the Infernal Devices are also present in this book, and I'm sure they'll be present for the rest of the series. I kind of think that because it's so vivid and intricate, it kind of makes the parts where not much is happening a little bit more bearable, because it's kind of interesting to read about her descriptions and, you know, how she portrays everything that she's writing about. Also, description to dialogue ratio seems pretty good to me. It was quite an easy one to read. Also found many of the dialogues to be very witty and creative and just really realistic, really, and quite believable. I think as a result of this, it helped with the connection that I had with the characters, and I just wanted to read about them even more. I suppose pacing could come into the writing a little bit, how it was a little bit slow in the first part, but, you know, it was, if I'm going to be honest. Possibly a few things could have moved a little quicker, maybe a little less description on certain parts, or maybe just a bit more action or content, I'm not too sure. Just something to really grab readers in for the first half, because I think unless you keep reading, you might want to put it down, because, you know, some people might not find it very intense, or you know what they're looking for. So overall, for Cassandra Clare's City of Bones, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I highly enjoyed it as a read. I thought it was so fun. Towards the second half, I was addicted. I couldn't stop reading it all. Definitely a page turner. I think that now everything's been set up, I'm expecting the future books to be really fast and really intense and really just grab me in right from the start with full-on non-stop action, and I'm really excited with the characters and the concept. The only reason why I couldn't give it any higher than the 4 was because of the pacing, because it could have just been a little bit faster. Sometimes I find that Cassandra Clare does have a problem with pacing, actually. It's kind of the same in the Infernal Devices. So that's going to be it for today's book review, so thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you thought of this book, or if you're going to read it, are you going to see the film as well? Anything else you want me to know? So thank you for watching, and see you all tomorrow.